pick up load number 12. Number 11 was just a quick trip to PA. My wife came with me. We went and looked at some campers and some stuff, and she came with me. But so this is number 12. We're going up to somewhere in Minnesota, I think. Minneapolis, maybe. I don't remember. But I'm on my way to pick it up now. Should be a good trip. There's some kind of fire warning on the map, the weather map in the truck. I don't know what the heck that's all about, but they covered all of Michigan and all of northern Indiana. I don't know what's burning. It's early spring, the ground's still soaked, but whatever. Check the news. Dropped off number 12 a little while ago. Not a bad trip. Really nice dealer. There was a couple other drivers there. One of them, there was a Chevy and a Ford, and the guy with the Chevy's got 850,000 miles on the truck. Said nothing's ever been done to it other than regular maintenance. I mean, I'm sure he's done alternator, starter, or whatever, but that's pretty impressive. And then the guy with the Ford, he said he had like 790,000. So it makes me feel better, you know. I'm not going to have to replace this thing. I was figuring I'd get about 600 and then get rid of it, but if I could keep it to 8 or 9 without major problems, I definitely will keep it. I mean, it's a nice truck. I got all kinds of extra buttons, heated seats, cooled seats, heated steering wheel. But yesterday was the first day that weight distribution and sway control hitches were a requirement, and I've been kind of putting it off a little bit. You know, I pull light trailers. I don't really deal with anything like that, you know, the heavy stuff, so I wasn't really worried about it. But coming through Chicago yesterday, it was pretty windy. I mean, I don't know, maybe 15 miles an hour, up to 20 tops. Night and day difference. I mean, the trailer was just locked right behind the truck. I mean, I could feel the wind pushing, but it didn't feel out of control, I think is the right way. You know, going over bumps and stuff like that, it didn't hop as much. Definitely worth it. I mean, I don't know if they're all that good. The one I bought is pretty expensive. It was an Anderson, but it wouldn't matter if it was twice the price. I'd have paid it for how much easier it made pulling that thing. We'll see once I do a couple more trailers, but I mean, as windy as it was going through Chicago, it made a huge difference. All right, it's May 5th or something like that. I don't know. Morning, had load number 13, and I'm not superstitious or anything like that, but the number 13 is something you avoid. I don't know why. It's not crippling, you know. I know some people go nuts over it, but whatever. It's besides the point. This morning has been nothing but a comedy of errors, and I've been doing my best to maintain a positive attitude, but most of it's my fault. But so I'm going to Minnesota again. This is the same dealer. I'm taking 2 trailers there. This is the second one, and it's in Central Standard Time. Well, when I stopped last night, I completely forgot about that, and by the time I realized it after I woke up, I was having my morning constitutional, so I cut my morning ritual short so I could try and leave at least close to on time. I ended up getting out pretty close to when I wanted to. So this was the first time I was going to pick up the paperwork, the bill of lading for the trailer prior to the office being open. So all the drivers have a mailbox, and I get to the office, I park the truck where I normally park it, I walk up to the gate to punch in the code so I can go in and get my paperwork from the mailbox, and I had last month's gate code. So, and it's pouring rain. So I run back to the truck, jump in the truck, pull up my email, find the new gate code, grab my umbrella, because I'm going to be smart this time, run back to the gate, punch in the code, gate opens, I go inside, I find my paperwork, check it, okay, everything looks good. I walk back out, the gate had already closed, it's an automatic gate, and I'm looking for the thing to punch in the gate code. There isn't one on the inside. You're meant to drive onto the pad in front of the gate and it automatically opens. Well, my truck is on the wrong side of the gate, so I can't drive onto the gate. And so it's like 6:15 and they don't show up at the office until like 7:30, 8 o'clock, something like that. So I'm like, okay. I didn't have my phone. I left it in the truck. I'm only going to be in there a minute. What do I need my phone for? So I'm kind of standing there in the driver's lounge, like stuck. And so after, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes of me standing there with my thumb in my butt, somebody happened to be coming into that yard to pick up drive-away. That's where most of the motorhomes and stuff are. So I asked them, I said, you guys leaving anytime soon? And they're like, yeah, we'll be a few minutes, you know. I was like, well, because I can't get out. And they're like, well, just put the code in. I said, there's no code on the inside. I can't do it. Oh, okay. So a couple minutes, they finally left, and I was able to get out of there. Well, I get to the yard where my trailer is, you know, half a mile or so from the office, maybe a mile. And I pull in there, and I look it up and down the row. Okay, there's my row, and I look down the row, and it's a freaking lake. Like, and let me back up just a little bit. So this load, it was kind of important that I left early so I could drop it today and not have to stay at the dealership all night waiting for the next morning for them to open. So I'm in a little bit of a hurry. So then I see this lake.
I'm dealing with a bit of flooding here. Pick up my trailer. I got my pants rolled up and my shower shoes on.
So all I did, I basically just hooked up the ball. I didn't even hook up any of the lights or anything, and pulled it out to a dry spot. But yeah, playing around in 1.5 foot of water, it was not a cool situation. I was a little bit upset about that, you know. I mean, I get it. There's things that could be done and probably should be done. You know, the yard should have better drainage. I mean, come on, this is I'm paying $35 for the convenience of picking it up there. No thanks. I'll pick it up at the dealer or at the factory if I got to stand in 1 foot of water. But it was kind of funny, you know, just whatever. So I get everything hooked up, and I'm doing my walk around of the trailer, and there's a little scratch on it. Jeez, man. Well, it's too early to send an email to the guy that okays this stuff, so I just took a bunch of pictures, and I'll deal with it later. It's not that bad. It's not through the primer, so I don't really care. I'll be singing a different tune when they ding me for it, and it costs me $300 to fix it or whatever, but I don't think so. So I get out of there, and I'm sitting on about a half a tank of gas, and it's my truck has a really great distance to empty gauge kind of, you know, readout. But when I hook up after being empty, it's ridiculously inaccurate. So I'm just under half a tank, so loaded, that should be 150 miles or so, give or take. But I figured I'd just fill up anyway, because I'm going to have to fill up 3 times on this trip regardless. So I call my wife. She's my my truck stop / fuel stop / food stop finder person. So she finds me a place there was a cheaper fuel further, but I wasn't sure if I'd make it. So she found a place that was cheaper than everywhere else around, called Family Express or something like that. Great, okay. So I get off the phone with her. I touch the push to talk thing or whatever on Google Maps, and I said Family Express, and okay, it's right there, so I hit it, and I get there, they don't have diesel. I'm like, what the hell did she send me? What did she send me here for? So I pull out and call her, and apparently I'm an idiot and went to the wrong one. So another, not even 10 miles down the road, there it is, and it was cheaper than everywhere else. So, all right, so now I'm on the road. So the only thing I need now is 2 flat tires and shit in my pants, and it'll be the best day ever. So, like I said, trying to maintain a positive attitude, and it's not that bad. Worst things could happen. At least it wasn't raining while I was hooking up the trailer. It was just raining when I got there. So that wasn't so bad, but yeah. All right, still on number 13. This one's a super light one. I didn't even realize it. It's like the GVW is like 77, but the actual shipping weight's like 5,600 pounds. So I'm doing a little better on gas. We're on 90. Not sure if I'm in Wisconsin yet or not. I might still be in Illinois. It's going to be cutting it really close. The delivery time is until 5, and Google Maps says I'll get there at 4:59. But when I was there yesterday, when I dropped the other one off, she kind of gave me a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Somebody's here until 7. So I figure when I'm about an hour out, I'll call and see. Otherwise, I'll just have to sleep there. It's no big deal. Do it in the morning. But other than that, doing pretty good. 70 degrees outside. A little cloudy. Partly cloudy. Turning out to be an okay day. After the start, I hope it continues as good. Trying to get something interesting / helpful in all of these videos, so they're not just me yapping. I figured that a couple things that aren't required for doing RV transport but are definitely nice to have. A really good mount for your phone. I only use my phone for GPS. I use my phone for GPS. I don't have a trucker GPS. I might get one eventually, but honestly, the size of trailers that I'm pulling, I don't need it. I'm not tall enough to really worry about anything. I mean, if I saw a sign that was a 10-foot bridge or whatever, I might stop and measure, but I just hook up and go. Google's generally pretty good, and just watch where you're going. Don't be an idiot, and you won't have a problem. But I might get one eventually anyway, just to have one, really. So a good mount for your phone or your GPS or both, whatever. I use it's called a Steely Ball, made by a company called Night Eyes, EYC, or I don't know. It's a weird way they spell it. But it's a Steely Ball. If you Google that, you'll find it, and it works really nice. Except when it gets unstuck from the dashboard, which happened once. But I think I got a bad one. I bought it at the Home Depot, and it was buried in the back and covered with an inch of freaking dust. So the thing was probably there for 2 years, and whatever with the stickiness wore off. I don't know. We'll see how long this one lasts. That one lasted about 2 months. This one's about almost a month now. But so that's good. A good pair of sunglasses. I can't. My wife has been too cheap to buy a good pair of sunglasses, so she's always complaining about hers. And really, my only complaints about these is they're almost too dark. Like today, it's a little bit overcast, but the sun blasts you in the face every once in a while, so it's nice to have sunglasses on. But when it's not sunny, they're a little bit too dark, so I'm kind of squinting. But I think that's actually because I'm used to having tinted windows, and with tinted windows you almost never need sunglasses unless it's right in your face. But with doing commercial driving, you can't have tint. I even looked into getting a prescription for it. You can't. There's just no way to do it. So a good pair of sunglasses, that's another important thing. Other than that, I mean, really, just little stupid crap that makes it more comfortable for you. When I first started doing it, I had all my water in a big cooler. I had one of those super coolers that keep ice frozen for a week or whatever, and it was fantastic. It did what it said. But the problem was, I had to always remember to grab a couple water bottles out of it when I stopped for fuel. Otherwise, I'd run out of water, and I wouldn't need fuel for another, 2 hours or 3 hours. So I'm thirsty, and I couldn't get in to get water. So I kind of changed my setup back there so I could just reach back and grab stuff. Same with little food stuffs and whatnot, whatever you eat. So having a decent setup like that. What else? That's really about it. I'll jump back in if I can think of anything else that's handy. I mean, I got an iPad that I do my logbook on, the Keep Trucking app. That's kind of handy. I mean, you could do it on your phone. There's no reason you can't. I just like having something separate. I don't know why. Honestly, it's probably just as good on your phone, so you don't really need an iPad. But I got it mostly to watch Netflix and stuff at night while I'm waiting for my 10 hours or whatever before bed. So that's, and I edit these videos on there. That's why the editing's kind of crappy, because it's iMovie. It's not really that great, but it's good enough and it's quick and easy. If I got a laptop, I'd actually do some real editing. So it was a little bit more flashy, but it's just a log of what I'm doing. Yeah, so that's what. Oh, and forgot about this. Number one most important thing in the truck is a back scratcher. You gotta have a back scratcher. There's nothing worse when you're driving and you can't reach it and it's driving you crazy and you're wiggling all over the place. And yeah, that's an important one there. A good back scratcher. Let's see what else. I mean, I got a good first aid kit, and it's got the standard Band-Aids and crap in it, but the big stuff I got Dayquil, and I got Pepto and aspirin and all that stuff, because you're not at home, where if you feel a little bit crappy, it's okay. You just go lay on the couch and watch TV. You don't have a couch here. You drive until you can't drive anymore, and then you stop, and you're still stuck in the truck. So having some stuff to make you feel a little better is definitely useful. All right, I'll be back when I think of something else. Here's another one that's super necessary. This thing it's from WeatherTech, and they're custom fit for all the windows in the truck. The front one kind of fits a little bit crappy now because I got the Easy Pass under my mirror. It's not bad. I mean, it still goes in, but it leaves a gap at the top. And not last night, the night before, the lot I was in when I laid down, it came in right above it was a street light, and it came in right above that, and it's shining me right in the friggin' eye holes. So that was kind of bad, but I mean, it's minor. It's not a big deal. But yeah, they were kind of $130, $139 or something like that. But I see a lot of guys, they don't have them, and you got truckers walking past your truck all night, or lot lizards or whatever, and then they're looking in, watching you freaking sleep. It's, I don't know, whatever. If it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother you. But I like a little bit of privacy while I'm sleeping. Not only that, it helps to keep in the warmth and out the heat. In summer or winter, not a lot, but it's something. It's better than nothing. And they're nice. I don't know. They fit. They go in really quick, and for $140 or whatever they were, it was worth it. I thought of a couple more things to add to the list of helpful things to have. There's an app called Keep Trucking. That's the logbook. Trucker Path, and it shows all the rest stops and truck stops along whatever road you're on. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. You can pay to have the ads removed, but It's not intrusive at all. You can't really use it while you're driving. You shouldn't use it while you're driving. Please don't use it while you're driving. But it definitely helps show fuel prices. It doesn't show fuel prices on the toll roads though, and I don't really know why, but it doesn't. But it shows that there's a stop there, so I suppose that'll help you. The other one is RV Parky. It shows places that you can park an RV, so that's kind of handy. I use Google Sheets to track all my trips, all my fuel costs, it's just a spreadsheet. Excel is the same thing, but Google Sheets works on your phone. I don't know if Excel does or not. It's a Windows product, probably not. It's terrible. But the Google Sheets work, so I track everything on there, the total costs, even though I get reimbursed. And the idea with it is that number one, it helps me to make sure that I'm always staying in the black. If a certain trailer, certain route, certain something is bad, and I don't make as much, I'll know right away. So I know not to do that again. Nothing's been even close to that yet, but I haven't pulled any of the big monster park model trailers, and I'll avoid them if I possibly can. That's really the only thing that could be trouble, just because they don't pay really a little bit more than a regular trailer, but your gas mileage is going to be less than half. So I don't know why anybody pulls those things, but so that's those three apps are handy. And then probably the definitely the most useful thing I have is Somebody at Home. I've got the Find My iPhone app or whatever, so my wife always knows where I'm at. So I just call her and say, hey, I need gas in 150 miles. And she pulls up the Keep Trucking app, or Gas Buddy is another app. When you're unloaded, Gas Buddy doesn't really know if you can get a trailer into a gas station or not. But having somebody to call and say, I need gas, has saved me hundreds and hundreds of dollars, because if you're just driving and you need fuel, you have to stop. You don't know about, another 20 miles down the road, it's 15-20 cents cheaper. And that's happened quite a few times where I would have paid a lot more for fuel than I should have. And then the other one is places to stop at night, because like I said, you really shouldn't use that the Trucker Path app while you're driving. There's too much going on. It's not like you're just dialing a phone number and then calling. There's a lot more. You're pinching and zooming and all that stuff. You shouldn't do that crap while you're driving. If DOT sees you doing that, you're gonna lose your ability to haul trailers. So get around this truck. So yeah, Somebody at Home. That's I can't even. Somebody smart at home. Fortunately, my wife's a lot smarter than me, so she keeps everything squared away and makes sure I'm getting paid right and everything like that. I got shorted on one of my trips, and I would have never known, but my wife caught it, so then we got it fixed. And it wasn't the company's fault. It just I didn't send in one of the toll receipts correctly. The app they have us use for that is pretty bad, but now I know to watch for that, so it won't happen again. That's about it. Other than that, you'll find your own stuff to help you out, to make it easier. Well, that's all I got.